Hey, David.
Right.
Hiya, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Not bad, sir, not bad. Sorry, in this meeting, I forgot to change the setting to admit everybody automatically. So there are a lot of people trickling in. I reckon that's Caroline. Hi, Caroline. Hey, Rupa. Hey, Sharon. If you can hear us.
Hey guys.
Hey, Rupa. Hi,
Hi.
Caroline. Hi. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad at all. Bit more grayed out since last week, but all in good spirit. So, as you saw, I mean, I tried to kind of be a bit more organized around who's doing what speech contest and brief them accordingly. And I know a lot of you people have other commitments as well for tonight, so I'll try to be as swift as possible. So feel free to drop out once your questions or concerns are covered. Okay, so there's Simon. Maybe we'll just wait for a few more minutes to have more people log in, and then we can kick things off. Hey, Simon.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Shashi. Okay, dokes. I think what I'm gonna do is, so first thing, I'm gonna quickly just go around the table to check so that I can confirm who's doing what. I'm gonna simply go from the top left corner of my screen. So, David, you are a contestant in both the contests.
Correct.
Carolyn, you are, just a second, let me bring up my spreadsheet here. Oh, there's Yvonne.
Hey.
Sorry. Hi, Shashi, hello.
Hi, Tanuj. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. All right, Shashi.
Great.
Yeah, I'm international speech contest judge, evaluations contestant.
Yes. Sorry, I just had my sheet open here. So thank you so much for that, Carolyn. Rupa, you are helping us with the timekeeping and you are the evaluation contest judge. Yeah, okay. And Sharon is not playing any role because she's helping with the administration. Simon, you are
Chief Judge and contestant for the speech.
Yeah. And Shashi, you are a judge. Okay. So with
Chief
that,
Judge and contestant, Simon. Or Chief
I'm afraid
Judge
so. I
and
can't vote for myself. God damn it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So with that out of the way, let me quickly bring up my slide that I wanted to run with today. Just a second. Sorry. Where is my sheet? Right. Can I check if you all are able to see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. So I don't know if you, yeah, all right. So here's the broad agenda for tomorrow evening. We'll start with the evaluations contest. So we'll meet at 7:30. 7:35 is essentially where we do a round of introductions and just greetings. 7:40 is when the contest chair for the evaluation contest takes over. We hope that we should be done in about 40 minutes time for the evaluations. We'd have the network break at 20 past 8 and 10 minutes break, and then we run into the contest chair for the international speech contest. There are 4 contestants at this point, so we are hoping between 1 hour, all the speeches should be done, and roughly around 8:30ish, we should be able to close everything and move on. So that's the broad agenda. Hope that this should not cause any major inconveniences with regards to your schedules, etc. So how would it play out? So we'll start with the, oops, sorry, I should actually bring up the evaluations contest first. So because this is going to be an online contest, which is slightly different from the contests have happened in the physical format. So for old members, there might be some unlearning to do here, but for new members, this is how we are running it online for now. When you join in, all of you would be joining the standard Zoom meeting. And around 5 minutes past, we would move everybody into a breakout room titled the contest room. This is done purely to manage how Zoom works and operates so that we can move people around conveniently. And around 7:40 p.m., contest chair would make the requisite announcements in the contest room for the evaluations contest. Around 7:45 p.m., the judges would go into one breakout room, and the contest chair would take the contestants to another breakout room, and that's where the briefings would happen. So for the old members, you might be familiar with the whole idea around briefing and ensuring that just a second, sorry, there are a few people in the waiting room. Let me admit them in. Right. And so these breakout rooms are essentially there to ensure that all the necessary eligibility criteria are met and everybody's ready with whatever they need to do. And
Tanuj, are we going to be signing forms, or do we just make a statement on the day?
I'll come to that, David. Just that's coming ahead. And sorry, somebody's going crazy on my WhatsApp. I don't know if it's my WhatsApp. Okay. Where did it go? Sorry, I am not able to shake my screen banner up top here. Okay, right. So can I quickly check who all have just joined? I think Bill joined in and Yuan joined in just now. We'll come back if you have any questions, but I'll just quickly do one round of describing how the plan would play out. So we were on the breakout rooms, and from those breakout rooms, we would come back to the contest room, and that's where the contest would play out. At 7:50, the contest chair would essentially introduce the mystery speaker, and based on the order that we draw, the contestants would then be brought into they would be taken back to the breakout room again, and except for one person who's the first person in the order, and then contestants would appear in the back from the breakout room in the order that has been agreed. And at the very end, chief judge would essentially collate the scores from all the judges. We can agree on what format needs to be used to share the final result. So just a quick rundown again, 7:30 p.m. we start the meeting, 7:35 we would move everybody to the contest room. This would be a breakout room. You don't need to do anything. I'll be the Zoom master for the evening, so I would be able to manage that. and after a few minutes, we would assign the judges to a dedicated breakout room and contestants to another breakout room where they would be briefed, and whatever validations need to happen to check if everything is in place. They come back to the contest room from there, and the contestants, since it is an evaluation contest, we don't want all evaluation contestants to see each other's evaluation. So except for the first person in the order, everybody else would go back to the breakout room again and would be brought in from that breakout room one after another in the order with which we have agreed to plan their speeches. And we'll draw the orders as well in a few minutes time. So that's the general game plan with regards to Zoom meeting. Now let's talk about the prerequisites, talking about evaluations contests first. So for the contestants, please make sure that you share the information, or if you have a printer available at your disposal, please print out form 1183. We would send this out to you later today. So this specific form code is 1183. You can look it up yourself as well on Toastmaster International. But we would send it over to you maybe through WhatsApp. So please take a print if you can. Otherwise, simply capture the information of this form and share it with the contest chair. The contest chair for the evaluations contest is Nishtha Chugh. I'm not sure if she's here right now. So we would need this to be shared with her beforehand. We would maybe create a dedicated WhatsApp group so you can, we will create a WhatsApp group where you can share this information ahead of the contest tomorrow. So for contestants, you just need to print this 1183 form. I can quickly show you how it looks so that you are aware. 1183. So, so this is the form in which you, in a way, convey what contest you're competing for, at what level, what is the date of the contest, and if you are delivering a speech, what is the title of the speech. If you don't have access to a printer, don't worry. You can simply capture this information in an email and send it over. So we can take care of that at a later stage if there is a necessity to have this printed in a specific format. We can come back around on that. But what is critical is if you are delivering a speech, that speech title is known and your eligibility criteria are met as well. So those are the two important things here. So that is for the contestants. Before I move to the next slide, any question from the contestants on the call right now? Okay, I'll take the silence as a no. Just checking in. Good. Right. The contest chair, is not here right now for the evaluations contest, so I'll just skip that piece. For the judges and chief judge, so there is again a similar document for eligibility, which is 1170. I can show it to you. So this is the judges certification of eligibility and code of ethics. Again, if you don't have access to a printer, simply say that you comply with the codes written in this, and you can drop in an email to us. We'll take that as a consent for now, because we can't make sure we get the printer handy for you right now. And with that, your eligibility is taken care of. Now, this is the part where maybe having a printer would become most important. So I'm speaking to all the judges here who are judging the evaluations contest. So form 1179 this is a ballot with which we would require you to score everybody. Good news is that if you can you can actually edit it on the PDF file as well. So if you're doing it on a computer, this is editable. So simply use this document, fill it up, and after the contest, email it to the chief judge. So the general, the modus operandi here is that simply fill in the contestant's name. So contestant A, contestant B, contestant C, and so on. And based on the criteria that are given here, so you can find the details of the criteria here as well. So you would understand what are we talking about when we say analytical quality by recommendations, by technique, and summation. So those are the 4 categories in which you are scoring. The maximum scores are in this first column. And if you think that they were not maximum based on your judgment, you can apply that score here. So you need to capture the total. And once you have total, you need to find out who is going to be the first place holder, second place holder, and third place holder. And that's what you need to share with the chief judge. So chief judge, it is your responsibility to gather this from the judges, and judges, it is your responsibility to hand it over to the chief judge.
Anuj?
Yes.
Sorry, just a quick one. Am I able to vote, or do I have a non-voting
No,
role?
so chief judges do not vote.
Right.
So that's what the judges are required to do. Form 1179. Again, we would share this in a WhatsApp group to you, so you would have that handy. So Mr. or Miss Chief Judge, you need to use another form. Sorry, there are a lot of forms to go around here. To calculate your assessment, essentially the first, second, third placeholder. So whoever was the judge, whoever was the contestant, you need to do that tallying. In the physical setup, we would have had the counters to assist you with that, but we think that's redundant in an online format. So you would be playing the role of counter as well as the chief judge. So you need to prepare this tally at your end and validate with the timekeeper if any contestant was off time or not. So that's also your responsibility. You need to gather the times from the timekeeper, and at the end of the meeting, announce the winner. So it would be convenient for because there are more participants in the evaluations contest, it would require more arithmetic work here. So, but because the evaluations contest is happening first in the meeting, you would have plenty of time at your hand to manage all that. With regards to the international speech contest, because the number of contestants are less, we hope it would not take as much time. And straight after that is the announcement for the results.
Again, sorry, Tanuj.
Yeah, please.
What happens in the case of a tie?
Yes.
How
So
am I going to work out who gets what position?
Very, very good question. So what we would do is between all the judges that we have available tomorrow, we would assign one as a tiebreaker judge. So you use that judge's view to essentially draw the final decision based on the ties. So if, for example, the tie is for the first position, you use whatever is the judgment that the tiebreaker judge has provided. If it is for the second position, again, you see what weightages has the tiebreaker judge provided for that. So we would assign one of the judges to be a tiebreaker judge for that very purpose. Does that answer your question, Simon?
I think so, but what criteria will the tiebreaker use? Is it one of the categories of scoring marks or not?
No. So the output that every judge delivers is the first, second, third position holder.
Yes.
And one would hope that the first, second, third position holders are generally the same ones. But if it is not, we'll talk about that. There would be the scoring sheet that we would ask everybody to share with the chief judge. So chief judge would be able to ascertain who scored how much and at whatever level, because at the end of the contest, you are ascertaining the first place holder, second place holder, third place holder. And wherever there is a tie, all you need to do is you need to refer to the tiebreaker's output score to find out where did they place the two people or three people who are tied right now.
Yes.
So let me give you an example. So say, for example, Simon and Tanuj are on a tie for the second place, and Rupa is the first place holder. So she's clear. There is no constraint there. To ascertain who between Simon and Tanuj should be second or third, you refer to the the tiebreaker judge's score sheet. There is a high likelihood that the tiebreaker judge would not have Tanuj and Simon at the same score level. I mean, that will be like double tie, but let's hope we don't come to that. Assuming that both Tanuj and Simon have got distinct scores on that scorecard, you use that to prioritize who should be the second place holder or third place holder.
Yes.
And then give out the judgment. And we've this time we've tried to have as many judges as possible so that that risk is mitigated by hedging the scores as much, and hopefully you'll get a good well-rounded scores for the evaluations. So that's on the judges and timekeepers. Rupa, you are there, and I'm not sure if Annette is around right now. So there is a specific form again, 1175. I'll give you a quick glance of that. So it's a very simple form. Feel free to not use it or use it. It's not an official document that needs to be submitted. And all it is which contestant, how many minutes and how many seconds. In case of evaluation, it's a standard 2 to 3 minutes time that we are accounting for. And as is known in contests, anything under or over that time band leads to disqualification, and you can ring the gavel or whatever medium you want to use to stop. Sorry, you don't need to do that. Sorry, my apologies. You don't need to give any indication except for your red, amber, green. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the evaluations contest. Any questions? Any thoughts?
Yes, Tanuj, again, sorry to be a nuisance.
No, please.
If the evaluator has technical issues, I know we can allow them 3 sort of breakdowns in communication with us, but what's the sort of maximum time we would give for any one breach before we have to say, sorry, you can't, your time is up on this evaluation?
I'm gonna speak off the cuff here. Since evaluation is generally gonna be, essentially they would have gathered their thoughts to a degree. I would say that if we run into such a challenge, I would say we would ask them to do it again, unless somebody has, strong opinions against that idea. Because it's not like table topics that they can gather more thought. I mean, they can technically, but I would say if we have such an issue, maybe let's give them a fair try to do it one more time.
And what kind of form of words should I use when they reestablish the link? Sort of recap what they said last, or
No, I think we'll start the clock again and let them give the evaluation all over again. So say, for example, at 45 seconds into their evaluation, their line breaks off. We don't need for them to start from 45 seconds. We ask them to start from 0 and give them the given 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, there are, much more experienced people on the call. I'm just speaking off the cuff here. I don't know, David, Rupa, if you have any views on it. Is Rupa here? Sorry, I don't know if.
I mean, so I was still the president when we did this last year, and I don't think the issue came up because that was the first time we'd run the competitions online. And I don't think we had anyone with a technical issue, but I mean, how many contestants are there in the evaluation?
For now, 5.
5. Okay, so there's time. So I would say, look, yeah, I mean, hopefully by now most people have got decent broadband at home, given that we've all been working from home for such a long time. But I certainly wouldn't, if someone's midway through their evaluation and their thing crashes, I wouldn't have a problem with them being offered one more time. Yeah, I mean, that's my perspective. I don't know if Rupa has any thoughts on it.
I think Rupa has probably dropped off. I don't see her on the list here. I don't know.
I mean, I would say let's be pragmatic and go with that as the plan. But there's no need to go into all sorts of announcements about what might happen if
Exactly.
If shit happens, deal with it. But if it doesn't happen, then it's not an issue.
Cool.
You okay with that, Simon?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just wanted to know just so that.
Sure.
Yeah,
cool.
No, it's all good questions. So thank you so much, Simon. So just a quick run through again for the evaluations contest. Contestants, form 1183, you need to somehow either print or capture the information in an email and send it over. Contest chair is not here, so I'm going to skip this part. Judges and chief judge, of which I think there are a few people here. So there is a form 1170. We would share that to you tonight, and you can read it and have it ready. Important thing is that it is sent over to the contest chair before the meeting starts tomorrow. For the judges, it is critical that you use the form 1179 either in its digital format or in the printed format, and capture the scores and share with the chief judge. I know I made a mistake of announcing who's who on the call at the beginning. Sorry about that, but it's supposed to be secretive. So we let you know who's the chief judge, and you can share it with them. And one of you would be a tiebreaker judge as well, so your scoring sheet would look slightly different than the regular one. And on your sheet, all you need to capture is who's first, second, and third based on your scoring. It is important that you capture the scores as well, so that you know who's scored how much, and hand it over to the chief judge, and chief judge would then need to validate if anybody was out of time or not and announce the winners at the end.
Tanuj, yes, going to be a nuisance. Is there any formal words I need to give to the judges with the judges briefing or not?
You need to validate if they have signed this document. So Simon, there is I'm not sure if you've caught up with the messages that I sent to you. One of them has a specific script that you need to read out. So you can refer to that and see what all needs to be said. But the summary of that is, number one, you need to ensure that they are aware of the scoring sheet that they need to use, and they have signed the eligibility criteria, that is 1170.
Right.
Yeah. And everybody, please forget, erase your memory. Simon is not the chief judge. And timekeeper, again, 1175. This is very simple document, so you don't have to do much here. Okay, so that's evaluations contest. I'm gonna quickly swap over to the international speech contest for everyone's benefit here. So very similar to the evaluations contest, after the network break, we bring everybody to the so-called breakout room, which is contest room. I see we have somebody else joining in who's joining. Hey, Jayesh. Hi. So from the contest room, the contest chair would make their introductions. In this case, the contest chair is Dil. So Dil Limbu is Dil is here, right? So Dil would be leading this contest, and around 40 minutes past, or we'll essentially see how we're doing on time. We would break it out into two rooms. One is for the judges, one is for contestants. Chief judge needs to take stock with the judges if they've got all the requisite information and validate if they've signed the eligibility. Contest chair needs to take stock with the contestants if they have signed the eligibility form, and in this case, if their speech titles were given. Hopefully, by that time, we would have all of that in place. And then we regroup in the contest room. Essentially, we kind of close out the breakout room. And based on the order that has been chosen, we call everybody, and they come and deliver their speeches. And at the end, chief judge needs to collate the scores and share or put it together from all the different judges and announce it at the end of the meeting. So that's the international speech contest. And if I could quickly go through the details, not very different from the evaluations, but in case anybody's joined us now. So the contestants, again, you need to ensure that you filled 1183. I showed this form a few seconds ago. Let me see if I can bring it up again. Yeah, this is 1183.
Do you have our club number? You know it
you caught me off guard, David. It must be somewhere. I'll quickly share that as well.
Yeah, I always used to look on the banners.
yes, that's what I was gonna look at as well. Maybe on one of the pictures. I'm sure it's somewhere on our TMI page.
Yeah, it will be.
I'll share that with you all. Sorry about that. I should know that by heart now. You need to ensure that your speech title is made known to the contest chair so that they can announce it appropriately. And you should know your speaking order, which we would draw in a few moments' time. Contest chair, same thing. You need to have the form. You need to ensure that. So Dil, this is for you. You need to make sure that all contestants have submitted this form. We would make sure that it is made available to you beforehand, but it's your duty to ensure this is in place. When we do the breakout room, when we create the breakout room, you need to brief the contestants, and you need to ensure that the chief judge carries out their briefing. So which should be happening in tandem, but essentially you are accountable for it. Dil, you have that that lengthy document with the specific script you need to follow. It is all written there. You can literally read it word for word if you want to. But that's a very handy tool to share what all needs to be said during the contest. Moving on to the judges and chief judges, I think there is no difference here except for the form. So in this case, it will be 1172 instead of the other form number that I shared with you. So the form number here is 1172. Again, we would create a WhatsApp group for you. So this is a different scoring structure for the judges amongst us right now for the international speech contest. The criteria for how to judge are listed here. So please ensure that you read it once to understand how the scoring needs to be done. And again, you can either edit it online or print it out as convenient. Do the totaling of the score and submit to the chief judge the first, second, and third position holders. It is important that you share the scoring part as well, because in case there is a tie break, that can be resolved looking at the scores that you've given. And to the chief judge, essentially, you need to ensure that you collate the scores, gather the times from the timekeepers to ensure that everybody was within time, and announce the winners at the end of the meeting. Timekeepers, there is a straightforward form that you need to use. I don't think Annette is here or Flora is here. Yeah, so our timekeepers are not here right now, but it's a very straightforward form that they need to use. That's it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If anybody's got any questions, I know I probably rushed through a lot of content, a lot of form numbers. But what Sharon and I would do is we would create specific groups for the judges and the contestants so that you have received the specific form numbers. And that way you can read them and print them if you want to, and have it ready for tomorrow. The only reason we are going through all this bureaucracy is because we have to do this to ensure that all eligibility criteria are met. And in case anybody goes through to the next level, we at the club level can validate we've followed all the required steps. Carolyn, you had a question.
Yes. For the evaluations contest, there'll be one person who makes a speech.
Correct.
And then there will be 5 people evaluating that speech.
Yes. So, yes. So, for example, if I'm the mystery speaker, I come and deliver the speech. Contest chair would essentially make the announcements for my speech, and then I walk away. Then the evaluators would come in and make their evaluations one after the other. But before you do that, all evaluators except the first one would be taken to a breakout room, because others should not listen into what ideas have been shared already. And based on the order in which you are speaking, you would be brought from the breakout room into the main contest room.
And the form 1183, which is the evaluations contest for the contestant form, that has a section saying speech title, so that we fill in while we're doing the evaluation, right?
No, so in that case, it's actually not relevant. That is relevant more for the international speech contest, or when you are in the next season, which is the humorous speech contest. So technically, you don't have a speech title.
Okay. Yeah, that was it.
Awesome. Yes, Dave, please. Yeah.
Am I to collect that contest form tomorrow, or am I to start collecting it now for the title, the speech titles?
We would create a WhatsApp group between all the contestants and you. So you would, technically the contestants need to share it with you, but if anybody is slacking off, you can slap their wrist and say, hey, I don't have it.
Okay. And Tanuj, you talk about that briefing.
Yes.
Is it done on the stage? I mean, when I am doing after the introduction? So
yes.
The briefing will follow.
Correct. So you do. So when you say briefing, essentially the script is what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I shared that link with you on WhatsApp, and you can use that to see what is relevant to speak or not, because not all of it would apply to us. So use your judgment about what you want to share then. So one thing I would say to you, Dil, is since you are leading the international speech contest, there needs to be a bit of a, so you are like the Toastmaster for that part of the meeting. So you use your general tools to kind of cheer up the crowd and announce speakers and all that stuff. So So it's a typical Toastmaster job. It's just that you you essentially are bringing people based on their speaking order and speech title.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And this is just within the club, or right?
Yes, yes. So tomorrow's is only the club level. The top 2 placeholders from each contest would then compete at the area level on the 10th of March, the following Wednesday.
Anuj, is it 3 or 2 people who go through from evaluation if there are 5 contestants?
To the best of my knowledge, it's always 2 people from
Always
the
2
club.
people.
Sorry, Yuan, you have a question?
Just a quick one.
Please.
Do you have 2 different sets of judges for the evaluation contest and the international speech contest, or is it the same judges judging both contests?
It's different.
It's different. Okay.
Yes. So now that we've done this part, shall we do the speaking order? I'm just quickly checking. Cam, any questions from your side? Shashi, Jayesh? Jayesh, sorry, you've got a hand raised. Please go ahead.
Sorry, so I only joined at 6:30, so there is another session, right?
Yes, I can. Sorry, maybe I probably didn't really stick to the schedule that I published. What I did was I covered the evaluations and then spoke about the international speech contest, but I can go through it once more.
Okay.
But since there are quite a few people who've listened to the whole spiel, I would quickly draw the order and repeat that, and they can drop off if they want to.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And all the material that you just referred to, they're accessible.
They are accessible on Toastmaster International website. So you can simply query the form code number. It will come
Okay.
up, or we would we will be creating WhatsApp groups, so you would be able to access it there as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes.
Anuj,
Yes, Deb.
do we already have a table topic master assigned for the contest? Or
There
do we
is
not have
no.
it?
So there is no table topics segment unless we want to run it on the.
Yeah, because
if we have spare time.
the judging, yeah, it's just for the spare time, right? Because in the judging section, just in case there's like a spare time, or should I just initiate it and ask?
You
like,
can, yeah.
random-
There would be. So I think that it's a good question, Dil, for you as well as when Nishtha comes in. There would be moments where there might be some amount of dead air. So that's where again you use your tools to cheer the crowd up, either by running table topics, or you can
Okay.
talk about the importance of Toastmaster, whatever you feel comfortable doing.
Okay, cool.
You can continue with your last week's table topics theme. It was quite a good one. So
Okay.
cool. So let me quickly share screen to draw the orders. And again, if Rupa was here, she would say that I'm breaching the code by sharing the names of the contestants, but I think it's all right. So what I've done here is I have created this random wheel, random name picker wheel. And what I have here is the 4 contestants for the speech contest: Irina, Samantha, David, and Simon. So since we have David and Simon present, both of you can in a way give your approval that you are okay to use a randomizer to generate the order. At least I would have 50% validation.
Oh, good for me.
Yeah.
Good for me.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna click the wheel here to spin it, and it will generate the order in which we speak. The speeches would be held. Sharon, could you please make a note, because I don't have anything to quickly make a note of it here.
Sorry, Tanu, just one quick one.
Please.
What's the cutoff time for people to apply to do a speech?
I would have liked it to be this meeting to be the final period, but technically you can do it until the opening of the meeting tomorrow.
Right, so anybody else would be added on 5th and 6th after you made this order?
Yes,
Yes,
we can.
yes.
Yeah. So this is for the speeches.
Yes.
Cool. Sharon, are you okay to make a note? This might move quickly. Sorry, I'm not seeing in case you're showing me any thumbs up.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
super. Thanks. All right. Cool. So the first speaker would be David. Okay. Next would be Simon. Next is Samantha. And obviously the last would be Irina. But so David, Simon, Samantha, Irina. So that'll be the order for the international speech contest. And if we go to, sorry, I have a lot of extra tabs open on my computer right now, and I can't get to my tabs because of the Zoom banner. These are the evaluation contest contestants as of now. So we have Amit, Caroline, David, Jayesh, Cam, and Samantha. So I think, again, we have 4 of you here. Am I missing anybody who's on the call? Anybody who's on the call and wants to compete in the evaluations contest? Just checking in one last time.
What about you?
Yeah, there's been a bit of a conflict of interest because I had to prep this mystery speaker. So mystery speaker wanted me to listen to the speech today morning. So
Okay.
now, yeah.
Yes, no, then you can't.
Yes, so I'm taking myself out of the contention here.
Okay.
Anybody else who's on the call and is not doing anything at the time of evaluations contest? Shashi, just sharing it with you that you are eligible. Shashi he's still there, yeah.
What's that?
Now I was just checking if you want to compete, the option is still open for you to come up and give an evaluation. I don't think you're playing a role at that time.
No.
So cool. All right, with this set of contestants, let's start the process. Can I quickly get a acknowledgement from Carolyn, David, Jayesh, and Cam? Are you okay with this process? Okay, thanks, David. Cam, Jayesh, Carolyn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so the wheel spinning. First speaker is Jayesh. Next is Carolyn. Then we have David. Amit. Cam. And oh, Amit came up 2 times. So did we cover everything? Oh, strangely it didn't remove Amit. I don't know why, but it'll be Samantha at the end. So yeah, it's just repeating it. So I think if I capture it correctly, it's Jayesh, Carolyn, David, Amit, Cam, Amit, and then Samantha. Is that correct, Sharon?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. All right. So that's the speaking order. And I think that's all I had to share with you all today. Any questions, any thoughts? There could be a lot of screw-ups tomorrow with regards to Zoom. So please, I'll ask your advance pardon on that. We'll try to make it our best. Yes, Cam. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
So when we make our notes, can we just take one A4 piece of paper and then?
Oh, good question. I think there is a form, but it's just a blank piece of paper. So you could use whatever material you want to capture your notes. I can share that as well for the contestants' benefit.
Just so you can keep an eye on us, we will keep our camera on and just put the paper behind us or something, or?
I think you're going to be going into a breakout room.
Yeah, but like, you could still technically, I'm just like.
Have the paper for the evaluation. No, you make a fair point, Cam. Yeah, we can't really control that now, can we? Because you could always have it behind the camera, and maybe we can ask you to tear it in front of us. That's one way to go about it.
All right. We'll need it when we do the evaluation.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
So I
a bit
think,
confused by this.
sorry, Carolyn, what was that?
I'm a bit confused by this note. What is it?
So what tends to happen is that when, so it's like when you take your notes, so there are two pieces of papers essentially that you need to use. Number one is when the speech is going on, when the mystery speaker is delivering their speech, you are taking some notes, and then you use that to then create your evaluation structure or notes, whatever you want to use. At the time when you come up on stage, you are allowed to use only the evaluation that you have written down. You're not allowed to use any other notes at that time. That's the general principle here. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, you are allowed to carry some notes for the evaluation. Am I wrong in thinking that?
You're
You're
allowed
supposed
to
to
make,
give them back to the contest chief judge after, I think you get like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or something, and then when you meet in person, then all the contestants give their notes back, and then when you're called into the room, you get handed your notes.
Oh, yes, you're right. So I don't think we can control that at all, Cam, in this environment. So yeah, thank you so much for that, David. So essentially there's only limited time available for you to create your notes, and you are given those notes at the time you're delivering the evaluation speech. So, and in between, you can't be for pure evaluation as other people are giving their evaluations.
Well, the only other way you could do it is when everybody's taken out into the breakout room, somebody is going to go in with them and keep them busy and talking with their cameras on.
True.
That's the only other suggestion.
Yeah, I think we can trust our people to say that, hey, don't write more notes. But truth be told, at the back of their mind, there is something working out. So you can't really. So yeah, what you're saying might work. You keep them busy with some table topics or something, that way they can't.
Maybe not table topics, but just somebody in the breakout room with them, and they've got their cameras on. So if somebody's going to make notes, they're going to be down like this making
They
notes.
all should do this.
Yeah.
So that's just a thought.
Yeah, no, it's a fair call. I think we can trust each other on not making those notes. We can, probably let's.
Yeah.
I'll ask Nish to make that announcement because she's a contest chair, that no notes taking at that time because it puts others in disadvantage. Yes, Jayesh, please.
Quick question. The evaluation competition is evaluated only based on the evaluation that the person gives on the video, right? Not, you don't need to submit what you filled in as well for the contest, does it?
Sorry, Jayesh, could you repeat the question? I didn't follow that.
No, I mean, the evaluation competition is evaluated simply on the speech that you provide in the 2 to 3 minutes, right? You don't need to do you need to also provide the form, whatever the notes you had done?
No. So it's only the speech that you give out practically. That's what. Yeah. So if you don't write a thing on your notes, that's completely your prerogative. It's based on the evaluation that's given.
Okay.
I think somebody's hand is up. Hey, Simon.
I've got 2 questions, Tanuj.
Please.
The first one is regarding evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, supposing somebody has a technical issue, they're offline for maybe 30 seconds. Their time starts from 0 again. So therefore, they've got the benefit to recollect their thoughts and obviously rejig what they're going to say. The other evaluators, to that extent, will be prejudiced because they'll still have their fixed amount of time. So how is that going to be, to a certain extent, compensated for or taken into consideration if somebody does have extra time through a technical fault?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that it's something.
I'm just.
Yeah, no, I know it's a fair. Yeah, sure. I think my default stance on it would be that we just give everybody the fair share 2 to 3 minutes to speak. And if that in a way, stretches the time for others in any capacity, it's all right. Number one, the possibility of that happening is going to be very, very, very less. So we can take our chances with that. And above all, the quality of the evaluation should rise to the occasion. So how much time anybody got shouldn't really make that much of a difference. I mean, it could, but I'd hope that it would not make or break anybody's chances.
My second question is, I'm intending to use visual materials rather than, I don't think it'd be acceptable to share a screen.
For your speech?
Yes, I don't intend to share the screen as such. So would it be acceptable to send a link in to everyone in the chat and just invite them to click on it?
So could you play that out one more time? So you have some visual
I'm intending
material?
to use visuals, but rather than sharing my screen, which can be problematic, is if I put a link in the chat to everyone and ask them to click on it.
I think the core audience you're speaking to, Simon, is the judges. So what you need to be cognizant of is that how would the judges interpret or consume that information? If there is a possibility for you to print those out and use it as a prop, I would suggest to do it that way.
Not to be able to print, no.
Okay.
No. So I'm going to take a risk and use. I'll take a risk and use the everyone. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At least I've learned by experience.
I would say that screen share would be the next best option. I would place the sharing of the link option as probably one of the last things to do.
Sorry to interrupt. I've got to jump off for another call. I'll see you guys
David.
tomorrow.
Thanks, David. See ya.
Bye.
But in my humble opinion, I would say sharing the link could be a hit or a miss. People might not even bother to. Some people might be logged in through mobile phone or tablets, and the chat doesn't have the same kind of interactivity. So you might miss an opportunity there. But that's just me. I mean, happy for everybody to. I mean, there's no official opinion on that. This is just my personal view. So, everybody is welcome to chip in. Hey, Nish. Hi.
Hi.
Hey. Cool. So, any other? So Nish, we are kind of in the process of rounding up the first phase of briefing. If anybody's got any question, feel free to raise or stick around. I mean, I think as of now, I would have the captive audience of Nishtha because she's the only one in the second session right now.
I'm going to say good night and see you all tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, Simon.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Shashi.
Just one question, yeah?
Yes, please.
This post-judge form, the judging form.
Yes.
After it's been done, you expect us to print it and share it? How do you expect it?
So if you see, it's completely up to your, what is more convenient for you. The form allows, so there's a PDF document which you can edit on the computer.
Yeah, that's fine. I got that.
Yeah, and once you fill that in, you can simply ping that over to the chief judge.
WhatsApp or via chat message?
We'll prefer WhatsApp because we would create the WhatsApp group, so you would be able to communicate with the chief judge through that.
Right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
See you, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, Shashi. Thanks for your help.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Yuan.
Quick question.
Yes, Sesh.
I'm part of the judges.
Yes.
And for the international speech. And is it 1183 that I need to download
Yeah.
Are you
So
going to cover that section now? Sorry, because I
no,
came-
that's all right. That's all right, Jayesh. You don't have to cover this. So for the international speech contest, the judges need to use form number 1172.
Okay.
And for the evaluations contest, and I'll go through that again. If you have time, feel free to stick around. And for the evaluations contest, it is 1179.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Sue.
Hi.
Hiya.
What is 1183? I've noted that down as well.
1183. Sorry, it's all gobbledygook. So 1183 is the contest chair. So that's for the contestants.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So for competing, you are conveying that you've met the eligibility criteria. So that's your entry ticket to the contest, essentially.
That's for evaluation contest as well. You need to do that.
That's the generic form for all contests, and it's on that form you essentially indicate which all contests you're participating in, and have you read the eligibility criteria, etc.
Okay, so evaluation competition people also need to fill that in. Okay, gotcha.
Correct. Yes. Hi, Momo.
Hi.
Hiya.
Sorry, I think I was late.
No, that's all right. That's all right. This is a kind of running show right now, so anybody can hop in at any time. That's no problem at all. Awesome. Cool. So let me maybe start the second round officially. And thank you so much, everybody, for making time. And congratulations and thank you from the club side for contributing to the competition night in one way or the other. If it makes you feel special, I didn't thank the first batch of people who were here, so I'm thanking you all specially. So as you know, we are running two contests tomorrow evening, the international speech contest and the evaluations contest. I'm going to quickly share my screen because there is some content that we need to run through. The order of the evening would be as presented here. We would start the meeting at 6:30. 7:35 is essentially we would do our presentaries, and 7:40 onwards is when the contest would start. We are starting with the evaluations contest first, and the rationale for it would become clear in a few minutes. I'll explain to you why. We would have the network break after the evaluations contest, and then we would start the meeting with the international speech contest. And after that, we essentially announce the winners and close out the meeting and make other announcements. So that's a broad agenda. Now, what would happen with regards to the contest night? Because it's not the standard meeting, so there are a bit of logistical changes that we need to take care of. The first event is the evaluations contest. When we start the meeting, everybody would be in our standard Zoom meeting. So, the typical link that you log on to join the meeting would be in place. We would be using the breakout rooms capability of Zoom, which is helpful to, essentially put together people in a specific category so that they receive the specific content. For the benefit of the contest night, we would move everybody into what we call as a contest room. So imagine this to be like a dedicated room in which the contest would play out. However, after we've done that, the contest chair would make their announcement. So that's what's playing out at 7:40. However, after that, we would take few of the members away into two different breakout rooms. One is for the judges to take stock and ensure that everything is in place. And another one is for the contestants, where the contest chair would ensure that the contestants have filled in the eligibility forms and they are aware of the rules and regulations, and there is a standard briefing that needs to be done here. The reason for doing so many of these checks is twofold. Number one, to ensure that whoever progresses to the next round of the contest, i.e. at the area level and so forth, they have met the eligibility criteria and everything has been done by the rules. And number two, just to give you a flavor of what would be playing out with much more intensity and scrutiny at the next level as well. So that's the reason we essentially imbibe all those rules and regulations at the club level as well. For the evaluations contest, and I'm not sure how many people here are, there are a few people who are participating in the evaluations contest. So for the evaluations contest, the contest chair would introduce the mystery speaker. Mystery speaker would come and deliver their speech. And after that, all the contestants would come in a specific order. Before we started the session, we drew the order for the evaluation contest speakers. We can share it with you after this presentation. And except for the first evaluator, so whoever is the first one in the order would stay in the in the contest room. Everybody else would go to the breakout room, and they would be brought into the main room one after the other, based on the order that has been drawn. And in parallel, whatever judging is being carried out at the end of the contest, the judges need to submit their scores to the chief judge, who would then collate it and make the announcement at the end of the meeting. So that's the evaluations contest. There were a lot of nuances which were discussed in the first session. I think most important of that, especially for the people who are contesting in the contest, whatever notes you take, we would request you to not further update those notes after your note-taking time is done. So you would get the dedicated time to take the notes after the speech, but after that, we would request you to not do further scribbling on that. So contest chair, Nishtha, if you could please make a note of that specific point, because it is not something we can control in the virtual environment. People can get little cheeky. So it'll be up to you to, when you are making this or doing this briefing in the breakout room, along with asking them if they've submitted the eligibility forms, etc. We would request you to remind them that they get only specific time to take their notes, but after that, they should not be using their notes to do anything while they're they're waiting to come to the main stage. So that's the evaluations contest.
Sorry,
and
can I stop you here? I've received
please.
a message from Flora. She's trying to join the session, and you need to let her in. Flora.
I don't see anybody in the waiting room as of now.
Okay, I think.
I hope she's got the right link.
Okay, I'm just texting her. Please carry on.
No problem.
Continue.
Thanks. Yeah, I also got a call from somebody. I had to disconnect that call because I can't take it right now. So, yeah, that's the evaluations contest. And let's talk about the things that we need to have in place for the evaluations contest. So the first is the contestants. There is a form entitled 1183. I'll bring it up here so that you can see how that form looks. 1183. So this is the form that you need to fill in. We can provide you with the club number details and the district number. Essentially, you need to fill this in and share it. If you are not able to print it, simply you can write it here. It's essentially to ensure that, number one, you understand what code of conduct you are complying with, and secondly, what category of competition you are applying for. So Jayesh, if you're still here, yeah, you're there. So this is the form we were talking about earlier, where you select. So in case of the event tomorrow, whoever is competing, if they're competing in both categories, they need to select international as well as evaluation at the club level and submit it like so. All contestants for the evaluations contest, you are required to send it over to Nishtha, who's the contest chair. for the evaluations contest. We would create a WhatsApp group in which you would be able to share this information. And Nishtha, it's your responsibility to ensure that all of this is in place before the contest starts. So that's what you're
sent or shared in that WhatsApp group.
It will be, yes. So we'll share all of this information beforehand tonight so that everybody has access to all this information. So that's what is going to happen for the contestants. You need to know your speaking order. Sharon, do you want to jump in here and quickly share the speaking order for the evaluations contest?
Okay, for the evaluations, it is first Jayesh, then Caroline, David, Amit, Cam, and Samantha.
David, who's after David?
Amit,
yeah.
then Cam,
and
then Samantha. So I'll just repeat that for you, Nishtha.
Yep.
Jayesh,
Yep.
Caroline, David, Amit, Cam, and then Samantha.
Got it. Thank you, Sharon.
Okay, no worries.
And just as an FYI, we used a randomizer to pick these names out, and half or more than half contestants were available for us to validate that they were happy to use that method. If you have any dispute, we can talk about it later. Contest chair, right? So it's the same form that we just looked at. So 1183. So Ms. Contest chair, you need to make sure that all contestants have submitted that either via email or through WhatsApp chat or sent a photo somehow. And we would ensure that in that WhatsApp group, all of this has been taken care of. You would be required to ensure that you've briefed all the contestants about the rules around how much time they are allowed, what kind of language they can or not use. I think that script document, Nishtha, I think it captures all of that information well enough. So you can use that as your basis to share whatever you want to share. And you need to ensure that the chief judge is carrying out their briefing to the judges, which would be happening in tandem, to be fair, because they would be in the other breakout room. So you can be assured that that is being carried out as well. And as I said earlier, so that script, I think, is a very handy tool. Talking about the judges and the chief judge. Similar to the contestants, there is an eligibility form for the judges. It's more critical at the area level contest than the club level, but nonetheless, you need to be aware that there is such a form. There is a specific scoring matrix that needs to be used for the judging of the evaluations. You need to make sure that either you've printed it or you're using the online version. I'll quickly pull that out here, 1179. So this is how the scoring matrix looks like. You can put in the contestant names on the top row here, and then there are 4 main criteria on which you need to score everybody. The definitions for these criteria is given in the next page. You score everybody, and then you total up the scores. But at the end, all you need to share with the chief judge, I'm talking to the judges amongst us here, is the first, second, third place holders. And they would use that to collate all judges' scores to find out who's the overall first, second, third place holders. So in the physical meeting, we would have just asked you to rip this segment, but since we have access to the digital platforms, you can simply share the whole document. Either if you printed it, take a picture and send it on WhatsApp. I should highlight, don't share it in the wider Toastmasters, Trojan Speakers Club WhatsApp group. There would be a dedicated WhatsApp group that we'll create where you can share it. So please be mindful that you don't need to handle this information in conference.
Quick question.
Yes.
Tanuj, sorry.
Hi, Jay. Yeah,
The
please.
signature of the judge, because we are doing everything online, is it okay if I just put
Yes,
my
I think
initials or something like that?
correct. So
rather than-
I don't think this is a feel like, oh, there is a place for you to do something here, but I don't know. Yeah, of course. So just I think the key idea behind signature is to be able to identify which unique judge did that scoring, and if we know that this particular form has come from you, I think that should be good enough information for us to validate. So yeah, so that's the chief judge requirement. So you need to, sorry, that's the judge's requirement. So you need to print that form and ascertain who's the first, second, third place holders. And chief judge needs to ensure that all of that information is put together into their own scoring format. And if there are any ties, they need to resolve those ties by looking at the tiebreaker judge. We would, okay, so Nishtha dropped out.
No, I'm still here.
Huh. Are you trying to log in through another? What's going on?
No.
Okay, that's bizarre. I got a message saying Nishtha is in the waiting room. Okay, it's Flora actually. I think Zoom's having some problem. So
I have a question, Tanuj.
yes, go ahead, Nishtha.
So I'm supposed to brief the contestants and also make sure that the judges are briefed as well. When does it happen? Is it after?
No, so you need, your responsibility is to brief the contestants and the chief judge briefs the judges.
And does that happen after, before the meeting or after the meeting starts tomorrow at 19:30?
So this is, where is it? So this is how, on the timeline, that's how I'm envisioning it can play out. So we start the meeting and we move everybody into the contest room, breakout room. And once we start so this is where you essentially around 7:40 is when you launch the contest and, do your initial introduction. And you then announce to everybody that we're gonna break out for a few minutes to ensure that everything for the contest has been taken care of. So you would be with the contestants in one breakout room, and the chief judge would be in another breakout room with the judges, and both of you are essentially ascertaining that things have been taken care of. Ideally, we could have done it before the meeting, but we have time, so we can, do it. Essentially, it needs to be done before the contest starts. So technically, the contest has not started. And from that breakout room, you then regroup in the contest room, where you would then launch the contest formally by bringing in the mystery speaker and so on.
So my question is, am I briefing the contestants about the rules and making sure they have signed all the forms in this breakout room with them?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you could do it before, but this is essentially like a catch-all to ensure that in case anybody was not able to, if you were not able to make contact with anybody beforehand, this is your way. That's why I've used the phrase take stock. So it could be a very quick thing to say that, okay, guys, as we've discussed, this is what is needed. Is everybody agreeable to that, or is everybody okay with that? Can we go ahead? And it could be literally 30 seconds chat.
But
So
as we discussed,
where I'm coming from is that, so we would create those WhatsApp groups tonight.
Okay.
So you would have opportunity to start sharing that information beforehand.
All right.
So, which is where I was saying that, here onwards, you are in the driving seat. So whatever is more comfortable for you, if you want to brief them in the meeting tomorrow, you have this opportunity window. If you want to start sharing that information beforehand, you can do that through the WhatsApp channel.
Okay.
In the physical meeting setup, we tend to do this prior to everything starting off, but because we don't have that opportunity in the online meeting, I mean, people might drop in, people might join in a minute or two later, and so on. So this is essentially trying to give that. This is a checkpoint to ensure that you have the opportunity to check with everybody if it's been done or not. And the fact that we are having this briefing session now, technically contestants should be up to speed with everything anyways.
Okay. And all the rules for contestants, say, for example, over the usage of language and other things, is everything there in the document that you've shared with us?
You're talking about the
PDF.
Yes. So there are two documents. I think so one was the script one that's more focused around what all you need to say.
Okay.
But the contest rule book is something I think everybody should have seen by now. I mean, it's been, I think Amit has shared it. I have shared it 2 times.
Okay. All right.
So if they've not read it, they would validate it by signing the form 1183. So this 1183 is essentially their validation to say that they've read the rule books and etc. and they understand it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But the idea is that tomorrow is not the time when we are gonna read through all the rules to them. I mean, you can do a whistle stop tour with them and say that, okay, guys, no foul language and so on. I mean, pick your 3-4 key points and ensure that it's covered. And I think nobody's coming into it. Hopefully nobody would walk in there with no prior knowledge whatsoever. So it's only then that will become problematic. Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So we were talking about the judges. I think we are probably through here. So timekeeper. Now we have both of our timekeepers here.
Hi, sorry, I'm here, but my camera isn't working. It looks like my camera isn't working today.
No problem, Flora. As long as you can see our screen share, that's all right.
Yeah, I can.
So Flora, for the timekeeping, there is a specific form number 1175. Again, we'll share that in a WhatsApp group with you. Feel free to use that. It's a very simple document which just talks about having a table of the speakers and how many minutes and seconds they took. I might have to go back to my notes to see which particular contest you are doing the timekeeping for. But for the international speech contest, it's 5 to 7 minutes, and for the evaluations, it's 2 to 3 minutes. Unlike the regular meeting timekeeping, here you do your green, yellow, and red signs at the requisite time. For speeches, it'll be 5, 6, and 7. For evaluations, it'll be 2 to 30 and 3. But you do not inform them if they've run over by 30 seconds. So in the regular meetings, we suggest that you ring the gavel or make some kind of disruption after 30 seconds. In this case, you do not do that. And in case anybody speaks under or over the regular timestamps, I mean 5 to 7 or 2 to 3, depending on which contest, they get disqualified. So that's the key difference between the standard timekeeping versus the contest timekeeping. And you need to inform that to the chief judge about what.
Okay, so we're still using the red line, but not.
You use the red light, but you don't. If they go past the red light, technically they get disqualified, but you don't let them know they've been disqualified in any shape or form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A question on that. So when you see the red light, it's so taking the evaluation contest, when you see the red light, that the red light comes at 3 minutes.
Correct.
But if you're over 3 minutes, you're disqualified.
Yes. So technically, if you've seen the red light, that means it's game
You're
over.
Disqualified.
Yes.
Okay, that's. So when you see the orange light, that is 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Correct. Yeah. So, and as is the case, Jayesh, I mean, that's what it's conveyed, right? So when you see orange, you start wrapping up.
Yeah.
So
great. Thanks.
Yeah, cool. So sorry, I think I was looking at the international speech one. Right. So this was for the evaluations contest. Now, quickly running through the international speech contest, the format is not very different. After the break, we resume the meeting. Everybody moves into the contest room. The contest chair launches the meeting. Is Dil still with us? Yeah, Dil's here. So Dil is the contest chair for the international speech contest, and she would do the introductions about the contest, and we then, very similar to the evaluations contest, we would create 2 breakout rooms where the chief judge would take stock with the judges and the contest chair would take stock with the contestants. Again, as I said earlier, this could have played out beforehand as well, but this is more of a catch-all in case anybody has not been briefed before. And based on the order that has been chosen, again, we drew that through a randomizer. The contestants would come and deliver their speeches one after the other. I think, unless anybody's got any specific questions, I mean, whatever I said for the evaluations contest pretty much holds good for the speech contest as well, except for the scoring form. Do we have anybody who's a speech contest evaluator amongst us? I'm just checking. Hey, Amit.
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry, I was late.
No, that's all right. Right. So you don't have to let me know if you are. There is a specific. So if you are an international speech contest evaluator, judge for tomorrow's contest.
I'm the chief judge.
Yes. So yeah, everybody else, please. You are not supposed to hear that. And
sorry about that.
That's all right. So the judges need to use this form number. Yeah. So this is the form number 1172, and we would let one of you know who is the tiebreaker judge. They need to use this form number. I'll quickly show you how they look. So this is the speech contest judging ballot. You can write the names of the contestants here, and the scoring criteria are listed over here with the score weightages, and the definition for each of these criteria is given here as well. At the end of your evaluation, judging, you need to calculate the total scores, and based on the total scores determined, you need to assign who was the first place holder, second place holder, third place holder, and you share that with the chief judge, which is Amit, and you didn't hear that from me. So, and that's about it. And for the chief judge, your responsibilities are to collate all the scores from the different judges, ensure that you receive the time for all the speeches from the timekeeper, and if there were any disqualification, you need to make a note of that, and whoever is qualified, you announce based on the ranking that you've asserted.
I think we do not need to disclose the name of disqualifications. That is what I saw in the rule book.
Yes, you're right. So technically you announce the first and second place holder only, and run it from there. So
maybe I can just mention, maybe the chief judge can just mention that the number of disqualifications, but
yes,
disclose the name. Yeah.
You're right. So we don't disclose the name. We just say that there was 1 disqualification or 2 disqualifications. I think Irina just joined in. Hi, Irina.
Just a question. How many contestants are there in the international competition?
Good question, Sue. So that we have 4 contestants right now.
Really tough competition.
Yeah.
Good.
I have a question.
Yes, Nish.
So Tanuj, in fact, an obvious and silly question. So
No,
it
there are no
says
silly questions here.
the beginning of the introduction. So I have to explain the difference between the contest and a regular meeting.
Yes, so that's actually kind of, free territory. You can make use of that time whichever way you like. It'll be good if you give a bit of an education about the contest. But yeah, there is no kind of, I mean, unless that script really says that you need to say these things. I've not looked at it in detail myself, but it's free space. You can, it's like I mentioned this to Dil as well. So you are the Toastmaster for that part of the evening. So
okay.
Feel free to bring use whatever tools you have. You can just say that, hey, this is special night for Trojans. It's contest night, and you can say that in past Trojans have done really well, gone to, I don't know till what division level, I think. Matthew or Simon or maybe Sumit, I'm not sure which one. But the idea is that you're essentially priming up the crowd for what's coming ahead. And yeah,
there's no script. It just says explain the difference between the contest night and the regular meeting.
Yeah, you could. I think you can comfortably do that. You can. I think, to be honest, majority of the people are participating in one capacity or the other, which is a real phenomena. And thank you everybody for that. So there won't be anybody who's untouched with what's happening. I think it's more for the guests' benefit. You would be explaining what is going on. So yeah, be mindful of who's in the audience so that they don't think, hey, I thought this was a Toastmaster meeting. What's going on here?
Is there going to be an agenda for tomorrow, like printed agenda that we can follow?
Yes. So I would. So that's. Sorry, I don't know if I missed or went past very quickly. So this is the core agenda we are following. Feel free to take a screenshot, but I'll publish that on the WhatsApp group.
Okay. And just before the chief judge comes back with the winners or the results, I will have some time to sort of play to the gallery or just keep the entertained. Okay.
Yep. So I said the same thing to Dil. Again, you might need to fill in some dead air here and there. So feel free to use either table topics or generally. I think I remember once I was a chair. I just fortunately for me it was a table topics contest, so I simply used the same table topic theme and asked that to the rest of the crowd. So I think we had like 10 or 12 guests that night, so it was great fun. But yeah, again, that's the part where you can do whatever you like.
And will the results for both the evaluation contest and the speech contest announced at the same time, or are they at the end of their respective segments?
No, it's at the same time at the end. So good question, and this is why we the rationale for having evaluations contest first is because there are a lot more participants for evaluations contest, and the computing of the scores could take more time versus international speech contest, where for now we've got again very good numbers, but hopefully the maths would not be as complicated. So both the results would be announced at the same time around the end of the meeting. I've not really specified right now which one could go first. Maybe we can go with the evaluations results first. So so the chief judges, please make note, evaluations contest results first and then the international speech contest. And I think it makes logical sense as well. We generally hold the big one for later. So international speech contest later.
And as the contest chair, will I know the identity of the mystery speaker? Or when will I find out?
Yes, very good question. So I would bridge you up with the mystery speaker later today, and it's just to ensure that you are aware what's happening, and you need to know the speech title, etc. as well. So I would create a WhatsApp group between yourself, mystery speaker, and Sharon and myself. Sharon would be my proxy in case for some reason I decide to not show up tomorrow. And yeah, so that's one important thing we need to take care of.
What are the chances of you not showing up tomorrow?
I don't know. So I think, so my thought process is that if that happens, I'll request either Amit or David to rescind their posts and take over the Zoom mastery, because that's probably the most amount of juggling we need to do. But yeah, chances wise, there as of now, I would say 0%. You never know. So
yeah, but then the fact that you're mentioning it makes me suspicious.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
We should not mention those for 0% chances. We should not mention.
Yeah.
Exactly.
True. Okay. Sorry.
I'm gonna drop off. Thanks a lot for organizing it and very well briefed. Well done, team. Well done.
Thanks, Jesh.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jesh.
See you tomorrow, Jesh.
See you.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
So Tanuj, for the judges and the chief judges, I think they should not show up their pictures. They should not on the videos.
Yes, that's also one of the things.
But that makes it very obvious.
Yes, so we had the same debate last time as well, actually. I think we have a lot of judges, so it doesn't make a difference. I'll say that this time around, because of the sheer number of judges and participants we've got,
there is a way out. There is a way out. So before they join the meeting, they must edit their names and just say judge.
No. So that's exactly what we're trying to avoid, Nish. So we don't want, if, and again, one of those extreme scenarios, we've been discussing a lot of these flash in the pan cases. So hypothetically, you are a judge, Nish, and I'm the speaker. The moment I know, Nish, you're a judge, hey, Nish, you're my friend, please make sure you give me maximum points. Or here is, I'm going to buy you a coffee or whatever, a drink. So we don't want that to happen.
I don't sell cheap. Tanuj, raise my
exactly. So yeah, so I don't want my cheap offer to result in me getting bad points either. So so idea is that we should not make ourselves known as judges in any way. So I think Amit, in this case, because we are not a very, very large group, it'll be easy to pick out who all are judges if their pictures are not on. So I would say we need to flip it on its head and, rather everybody should be visible so that, you can't really distinguish.
I think people don't know that somebody is judge. I think the speakers don't know or the evaluators don't know.
Correct.
And it's fine.
And also, suppose if you were to, if you were to turn off your camera and if you were to change your name, how would anybody know who you are? In fact, I could change my name now.
Yes. Yeah. You could. I mean, you can definitely go the distance to hide all that stuff. I think, but there is a simpler solution, right? I mean, you just don't change anything and have a nice poker face is all you need.
Sorry to jump in.
Hey, Rina, no problem, please.
How the judges will submit their forms or whatever they fill in?
So what we are thinking of is that between the judges, we would create a WhatsApp group, which would ensure that they are able to maybe either take a picture or submit the online form through that WhatsApp chat.
Okay.
To the chief judge. And then the chief judge can communicate to the, sorry, chief judge doesn't need to communicate it to anybody. Chief judge essentially comes up at the end of the meeting and makes the winners announcement. Did that answer your question, Rina?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
So I think I've pretty much covered everything, and the only part which might be a little baffling right now is all the different form numbers, etc. And as I said, we'll create a bunch of WhatsApp groups. So please be, keep an eye out for all the different things that show up on your WhatsApp feed tonight. But we'll paste all these forms there so that you can see it. I'll also stick this slide back into the main Trojans chat on WhatsApp so that everybody has access to the specific code numbers. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I know there are a lot of people who are seeing this for the first time, especially Momo, Sume. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of bureaucracy here only to ensure that whatever whoever wins and goes forward to the next level, they are representing our club, and they stand by to the standards that are expected at the international level. But other than that, I mean, I'm really thankful for everybody chipping in. I think in my 4.5 years, probably this is with the club, this is probably the most well participated contest ever. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tanesh, for organizing it. You and Sharon and Cam have done a great job.
Yes. Cool. I think Nishta has dropped off as well. I'm not sure, something went wrong there, but any questions? Sue, Momo, Flora, Irina? I'm just picking out you all because you're not part of the committee, and there's of course a lot of other chatter going on. So
no, I thought that was really, I mean, clear. I don't have any questions, and thank you for the presentation and for going through it so comprehensively. So I'm good. Okay. Looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, it was clear as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Flora.
Thank you.
Hey, Irina. Okay, thank you. So what I would do is that we'll start on the WhatsApp group creation task now, and please don't block any chat group out. Hopefully it'll come in handy for tomorrow, and all the best, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow evening, same time.
Thank you. All the best, everyone.
Thanks, Tanuj.
Thank you. Thank you. See ya. Bye.